This is an exercise involving variation. It says, at C, the distance to the horizon is directly proportional to the square root of the elevation of the observer. If a person who is 36 feet above the water can see 7.4 miles, find how far a person 64 feet above the water can see. Round to the nearest tenth of a mile. Okay, a lot going on here. There's a very standard way to approach these types of variation problems. First step is to figure out what kind of proportion we're looking at here, or variation. So let's see, let's call this distance and square root of the elevation. Let's call that height. Okay, so we have distance and h for height, d for distance, h for height. And let's read off what it says. It says the distance is directly proportional, so that means k times x. And in this case, it's not x, it's h, and it's not just h, it's square root of h. There we go. Distance equals k times the square root of h. That's what this problem is saying when it says the distance is directly proportional to the square root of the elevation. Okay. And these problems are always going to have the next step. They'll give you a data point, and then you'll use that to solve for k, and then you'll use that k to predict a new future value. So let's see here. So from here, use data to solve for k, and then you use k to predict a new value. Right, so there's very much a sense of repetition with these kinds of problems. Okay, let's do it. If a person who is 36 feet, so this is height here. This is height, and 7.4 miles is distance. So let's use that to solve for k. They give us one data point. 7.4 equals k times the square root of h, 36. Okay, we'll use that to solve for k. K times 6, divide both sides by 6. That gives us k is about, put that into a calculator, we get 1.233. I don't know, I'll round it off. The 3's just keep going. Okay, so our new equation then is d for distance equals 1.233 square root of h. Okay, so steps are the same. Solve for k, use k to create a new equation, and then use the new equation to solve for whatever they want us to solve for. Let's see here. How far a person 64 feet above the water can see. Okay, so now I'm going to plug in 64, so distance then is 1.233 square root of 64. Well, that's just 1.233 times not square root, times just 8. Okay, and then we plug that in to a calculator. We get 9.8666, but it says round to the nearest tenth of a mile. So 9.866 rounds up to 9.9 miles. There we go.